Welcome to November. The video that gets the most likes of all the Zodiac readings for November forecast is going to get a bonus reading, so smash that like button if you like my content. Happy birthday, Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, what is going on for you? This is a birthday reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. For those of you aging up, welcome in. Welcome in. Let's take a look at November. We've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to look at love and relationships and also at career and money. I'll get a wild card reading, which may or may not support those other two readings, and we'll take a look at what you don't see coming in the November month time period, okay? All right, before we even get into November, October 28th, we have a full moon eclipse, lunar eclipse. And it is pretty loud. It's in Taurus. It's in the opposite sign. It can be about purging or healing any wounds that you have around power and authority. So if you give away your power all the time, you might need to take it back. If you are somebody who feels like they're being big-footed at work or at home or something like that, this is the month to really kind of grab on, okay? So, oh yes, look at this, boundaries. We also, in the month of November, we have Saturn going direct in Pisces. Saturn and Pisces don't mix all that well. Saturn is about obstacles, but Saturn is also about structure. And Pisces is like, no, man, I just want to hang. It's also really lovely spiritual energy. So you can be dealing with that, and it has to do with boundaries, right? It has to do with what feels good to me and what doesn't feel good to me. You know that psychically. Okay, so this month, Saturn going direct in Pisces may be very helpful to you to learn how to create boundaries for yourself. Lucky, that's the Sagittarius energy. Interesting. And courage, that's Leo energy. So you might be dealing with a fire sign. For me, I just feel like this has to do with standing up for yourself. Okay, Scorpio, standing up for yourself. I feel like some of you have kind of gotten along on God's good humor for a while and haven't really stood up to people, or haven't really said what you really think. Maybe in a very charged political situation, and I mean like at work or something like that. If you could be always afraid that speaking your mind too much is going to get you in trouble. But I feel like you have some kind of right place, right time energy this November, which is very nice. So that's pretty cool. Let me use this. Okay, this is the Mermaid deck. So while I'm shuffling, those of you who want to learn how to read tarot, I have a class that you can grab onto. It's in the description box below. I've gotten a lot of comments about our tarot certification. We're going to be starting that up again in January. I feel in January. And if you want to learn to read tarot from me and then be part of our certification group that is offering private readings on my website, then please jump on board. That is in the description box below. All right, enough shuffling. Look at that. There's your card. Death. This is what you don't see coming, which is interesting because you are that card. You are Scorpio. The Nine of Wands. Five of Pentacles. Gosh, more Sagittarius energy. Some of you may be a Sagittarius moon, or you may have strong Sag. And if you don't, I feel strongly that you have somebody coming in, or some kind of Sagittarian energy around you, which is super duper lucky. Okay, I'm a Sag sun, I should know. The Knight of Wands. There's that moon card. We're talking about the full moon. And the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Eight of Pentacles, moving forward. There is something here about if you are, we'll look at it, the career and money in a second here, but if you are standing up for yourself and it ends up being like a bad thing at work, like maybe you end up not getting a project or getting shunted to the side or feel like you're being sidelined or something like that, I feel like you have a powerful ally, okay, who is going to come to your rescue and bring with it new clients, new opportunities, new money, new. So don't be afraid to kind of stand your ground, speak your mind, as long as you're doing it for purposes of your own boundaries, or boundaries around some kind of project or some kind of thing. Like you're like, hey, we shouldn't really go down this road. It's going to be bad for us because of A, B, and C. Let's think about it this way. Like, it's not a selfish thing. It's not like, I just don't want to do that job, or I don't want to be with that client, or I don't want to deal with this situation. It's not like that. It's much more about, it's much more, sorry, my phone is on here. It's much more about what's good for the collective. And I almost feel like somebody misinterprets that. And you're now, because this is like the power, we're talking about power, right? People utilizing their power and wielding their power. This is a new age of mastery that we're stepping into in this Scorpio time period, this November time period, in which we have to sort of speak truth to power. Okay. So I wouldn't be very, Sagittarian energy here is very affable, gets along with a lot of different kinds of people. There's just this lighthearted energy to it. So you might not be too heavy handed when you're asserting your boundaries. You might just be like, a little lighter, right? A little bit more on the humorous side or something like that. Don't go right at somebody. Don't be like, I'm asserting my power, right? Like bigfooting people. Like, don't do that. I feel like it is going to benefit you greatly to do it. And even if something does go off sideways for you, even if you're like, oh, wow, I spoke up in that meeting and that vice president didn't like it, or my client didn't like what I said, there's a fallout, but there's a better thing that comes of it. You'll see. It's just like if somebody doesn't align with your truth, with your boundaries, they do need to move to the side. And I feel like that clears the way for something really awesome to come in. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. But I want you to be light when you're delivering your point of view. Okay. I want you to think about that. Because if you don't see this coming, you might have somebody who has an axe to grind, or somebody who has a different perspective, or doesn't want you to get some kind of plum job or plum, client or something like that. So just watch your back. Okay, Scorpio, I want you to watch your back. Now, this is this is a love reading, and then I'll look at career and money, and then I'm going to do the wild card here. So I'm going to lay this out, and then I'll talk you through it. Okay. 6 of Pentacles, the 4 of Swords, the Justice card, Queen of Wands, 4 of Cups, the Devil card, and the Ace of Swords. All right, this is a love reading. Talk through it in a minute. This is your career reading here. The Lovers card, the 2 of Wands, 4 of Wands, very nice. Knight of Wands, Page of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Page of Wands. And then let me wild card, please. Ace of Cups, Magician, Tower, wow, Hermit, Page of Cups. Okay, so a couple of things here. I almost feel like some of you have gone through a big ending recently, within the last 2 years, I'm going to say. Maybe last 2.5, maybe 3 years. Gone through some kind of big ending. And there's just, I do see the 6 of Pentacles. I feel like this is a card of like you helping other people helping you. So there can be this nice little community that you have, or a friendship group or something like that. This can also be part of you like realizing who you are on the next level, because you are stepping into the new level. Okay. I'm feeling like this lunar eclipse in Taurus is about big decisions. It's about divine feminine. It's about integrating, who you are and people seeing it. Like I feel like, Scorpio, like you've been keeping your light under a bushel. I feel like a lot of people don't see like your amazingness, because I think that's, you kind of like hold it too close. And I think that it's possible that over the past couple of years, you've had a bit of a rough time. So I do see the healing happening here. That's beautiful. Things are starting to balance out with this Libra energy. like finally stepping into your life purpose. I know this is a love reading, but I just feel like this Ace of Swords, the reason you're doing that, or the reason that that's happening, is like it's time to shine. It's time to shine um, from a place of love. And I almost feel like this Libra energy is a little light for you, a little airy fairy, or a little bit something like that. But I kind of feel like there's some Sagittarian energy around you that's more lighthearted. There's something here about lightening up. And you can do that and still protect yourself. You don't have to be like in a cave. You don't have to be closing yourself off. Because I do think that there was a transition, or there was an ending, okay, recently, and maybe you weren't feeling all that good about yourself, Five of Pentacles. But I feel like now you're kind of stepping into who you really are. Like this old situation, the situation that went away, or that was in the last 2.5 years, is kind of clearing, peeling back the layers of an onion, clearing the space for your realness to show up. Some of you could have been dealing with a Sag or a Capricorn or a Libra. There is something about lightening up here. I just feel like this Four of Cups, there has been some stagnant energy, and mostly around money within relationships, because there might have been some kind of choosing a relationship because it's stable. Okay, because maybe the person, there's some kind of financial stability issue here that I can only excuse me, I can only open myself up to another person if I know that they will take care of me. And I don't think you ever think that, like, um openly, or like, even I don't even think you think that to yourself. I think you think, oh, this is a good person to kind of go down that road with, because they either make a lot of money or there's somebody I can count on. But I think you're starting to recognize that you may be the one who needs to be the one to be counted on. Okay. And I feel like you're healing your own sense of self-worth, understanding who you truly are in an authentic way, so that you don't have to kind of throw in with somebody just because you think they're stable financially. Like that might be the first part of your assessment. Is this a good person to be with? I do think that some of you have gone through divorces recently, and I think you're trying to figure out who you are, and it is going to take some courage. Okay, it is going to take some courage. We do have Saturn moving direct in Pisces in November 4th, and Saturn moving direct in Pisces. Saturn, like it doesn't, they don't, Saturn and Pisces don't really like each other. Okay. Saturn is about the rules, and Pisces is about no rules. Okay. Pisces is about expansion and open to the universe. And Saturn is about rules and restrictions and how it's supposed to work and things. So those two things are kind of at odds with each other. It's going to be, Saturn and Pisces is going to be there until like 2026. So we're going to have to deal with this for a long time. But what's kind of coming up to me is that, what are our own rules around and restrictions around who we choose to be with? I feel like that's changing for you. All right. I feel like that's changing. I feel like you might be more interested, maybe because you're becoming more successful in your work. I can see that. Becoming more successful with money. I feel like you don't have to make those determinations. It's almost like this opens you up to a broader group of people, and I kind of really like that. Meaning you could have more fun, you could have more joy. It could be less kind of like interviewing someone for life partner, right? We're not doing that really. I think you've gotten out of a situation, and there is some kind of residue of it that I feel like it needs to be burned off. Like literally, like go have some fun, hang with your friends, go on a bunch of dates, do something that's just light. Like you're not interviewing for the mother of your children or the father of your children. Like just forget about that. Forget about how much money you have in the bank, how's your 401k, what kind of career prospects. Forget about all of that practical stuff. I know, Saturn moving forward, Saturn, right? Saturn moving forward in Pisces. However, Pisces says, what's the spiritual connection that you have? What's the spiritual connection you have? And And Saturn is sort of like, okay, well, how do I quantify this? Saturn wants you to make rules around that. But I almost feel like it would be really good for you to sit in that more spiritual place for a little while. Okay. So I will pull cards for each zodiac sign in the extended so you can get a sense of like who might be coming in. I think there's a lot of healing going on. I feel like this is a very lighthearted time. I think there are some things that still need to be healed. Um, Especially around what's stable and what's a good choice in love. Like maybe I don't know how to choose a love partner. Maybe you kind of fall apart a little bit because you're like, I don't know who I'm supposed to choose now. Like what's the deal? Ace of Swords, super duper authentic. You really you're really being that person and doing the things that you want to do unapologetically. Like I don't want to go looking for a life partner. I just want to enjoy myself for a little while. Good, because I think that that's a very healing thing to do right now. Okay, I really do. Because November can be challenging for a lot of the lighter, Libras and Sagittarius can be a little challenging because it is about transformation. It is about mastering ourselves and all of that. But this is you. You do this all the time. This is not like it's not like, oh, it's Scorpio season. You're like, no, this is the time. This is the time of my anniversary of my birth. This is the time of me coming out into the world. And I can handle this stuff as it relates to transformation, as it relates to um, Saturn going direct, as it relates to my relationships to power and authority. Like I can handle all of that. What I want you to do is be a little bit lighter with it and not be so, don't take stuff personally. Try not to do that, okay? So the or the career relationship, the career part of this is much the same. I almost feel like there's a good partner coming in or a good colleague or a good client or somebody like that. The love relationship needs to be kind of lighter. Like I said, love and friendship and all that needs to be kind of lighter. You're finding your truth. You're finding your authenticity, especially after a storm or after you've been through a lot. With career, what I'm getting here is a lot of becoming inspired. Again, more kind of Sag, Leo energy. Um, it's like becoming inspired, get excited about things. I also feel like that Saturn in Pisces is helping you open up to your intuition and being much, I don't know, much more right on when it comes to connecting with clients or what's my next step in my career. I think you're at a choice point here with your career and money. I don't see any pentacles here. Okay, I don't, but I do see Capricorn here. I see 5 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. I do see some pentacles here, and it's kind of like I'm choosing that which inspires me now. I'm not going to choose again. I'm not going to choose just because of the money. I've done that before. I feel like money flows when you are at your most authentic self, at your most authentic level, when you are not sort of looking at the money all the time, when you're much more about, does it excite me? Is this interesting to me? Because I think that that is going to open up so much for you. And the High Priestess is here saying, yes, that's exactly right. The High Priestess is your connection to your spiritual guides and all of that. It's like you've got to open up that if you want anything to grow, it's like looking at the financials first and looking at that kind of thing first is backwards. What's being asked of you now is to really step into your power by utilizing your intuition to expand your career, to choose something. I feel like some of you are changing careers, some of you are moving in a different direction, and it's because you get excited about something. That's really awesome. The wild card here is telling me that what's coming through, I feel like some of you might be opening up to mediumship or opening up to your spiritual awakening more. I see this Ace of Cups, the Magician, and the Tower, and it's all kind of pointed at this Hermit energy. And that Hermit energy is Virgo, and that does have to do with day to day living. And I just feel like you're manifesting something so much bigger because this Hermit is a guide. All right, this Hermit is a guide, and it's kind of shining the light on. I almost feel like there's page here, page. I almost feel like it's shining the light on some kind of inner child stuff. Like you've come to the end of a cycle. You've come as far as you can. Maybe you gotten divorced or something like that with this kind of relationship. You've come as far as you can with a certain kind of career. Now, what needs to happen is for you to really embrace your lighter side, embrace, um, your inner truth with this Ace of Swords, and, get have some fun, manifest something that really expands you. Like we're getting away from the real focus on well, how much does a job pay? We're getting away from that. We're not doing that. Stepping into something that is really expansive. And I feel like that's what this is. It's like a lucky break. I feel like you get some kind of lucky break because you're willing to have boundaries around yourself now. It's not like you're just throwing yourself at big gobs of money. You're going to be like, "Hold on. Do I really want to do this?" Cuz I almost feel like some of you have been through experiences in your life where you have had the opportunity to make a lot of money or whatever, but it either burned you out or it was terrible experience or something like that. So I just feel like we're going back to our inner child and really being excited about something coming in. So I'm going to go deeper. The tower is here. I'm going to look at what's going to happen for the next 30 days in a more kind of granular way, and I'll pull cards around each zodiac sign to see who's coming towards you. I really like Sag, Capricorn, Libra. All right, Virgo over here, Gemini, we've got more Sag, we've got Cancer, so we got a ton of stuff. So I'll be pulling cards for each zodiac sign. There is a link in the description box below if you want to go deeper with me. I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.